Hi, I'm Eric Summerer, and here's what's coming from the Dice Tower this week.
Hey, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the news for December 10th, 2012. Woo! It's Christmas time, folks, and so there's lots of things going on. Let's start with the board game news. Well, we're getting close to January, and a couple people are going to start talking about their games that are coming out around this time. AEG released some details about Smash Up, the first expansion that's coming soon. The 4 factions are Killer Plants, Ghost, Steampunk, and Bear Cavalry. I do not care what the other 3 are. Bear Cavalry makes up for everything. Already the combination. Bear Cavalry Dinosaurs, Bear Cavalry Ninjas. Just makes... Okay, well, moving on. Mage Wars Arcane Legions has released the Core Spell Tome 2. There's no new cards in this, but if you want extra duplicates of the cards, they made another pack because apparently these things have been extremely popular. Let's see here. Gilead Games has released Candle Quest on Kickstarter. You might not have heard of Candle Quest before, but it's actually a reprinting, an original theming of the game It's Alive that came out. That was a little auction game to get body parts for building your own Frankenstein-type monster. This one has a menorah theme to it, so check that one out. Fun game. I reviewed this one several years ago. A little game. Spartacus has announced an expansion, or I guess the folks who made Spartacus have announced an expansion for that game called The Serpent and the Wolf. It adds 2 more factions to the game, and since Spartacus has turned out to be a pretty big hit this year, I can see this expansion being very popular. Our hot news of the week is something that I'm gonna experiment with. Well, experiment's kind of not as strong of a word as it should be because I've kind of committed myself to this for the next couple of years. But what we're going to start doing with this episode here is we're going to have a podcast that you can download that has just the audio version each week of my news. Now, my news is different than Remy Gibson's news. Remy Gibson puts out the news Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you should check out his podcast for sure. But I talk about not just board game news, but I also talk about our network news and what reviews we'll be doing that week. So we're going to make an audio version of that available, and I'll be making an audio version of picked reviews over the week. Like, for example, I'm doing 11 reviews this week, so I'll probably put up the audio for 4 of those on that. So you'll be able to download this, and every day or so you'll be able to download it. Sometimes you'll hear things and where I'm showing things and that won't come through in the audio, but enough people have expressed interest in this that we're going to try to give it a whirl. You can find this at www.dicetoweraudio.com. That's dicetoweraudio.com. Well, let's take a look at the Dice Tower Network. Man, the podcasts have been coming out. Little Metal Dog number 50. Congratulations to Little Metal Dog. He has on a couple of guests, including John Mueller, who runs Unpub, where a group that gets together to get games published. On Board Games has done episode 96. There's been a lot of debate in the past few weeks about what does Game Salute actually do. Well, they have Dan Yarrington on board as a guest, and he answers a lot of questions in regard to that. Plaid Hat number 72, they talk about inspiration versus theft. Are you stealing someone else's game, or are you just inspired by it? Secret Cabal number 31, they spend a lot of time talking about Android Netrunner. They also give the news and talk about gateway games to introduce people to gaming this holiday. Flip the Table number 46 says Star Trek The Next Generation VCR game. I'm sure it's a marvelous game. And The Long View, that has not yet come out, but it'll be coming out this week. They'll be taking a look at Race for the Galaxy with a couple special guests, Eric and Joe Huber. And then the Dice Tower, of course, is coming out with our episode this week in which we're going to talk about, oh man, I don't even remember what we talk about. We talk about a lot of interesting things, including some things that are interesting. Games that have stood the test of time, but it's being posted this week. I do remember it was a lot of fun. We answer a lot of user questions in this episode, so that's the newest Dice Tower episode. A lot of reviews for you this week. Barry is going to be taking a look at King of Tokyo. Chief will be reviewing Looping Louie. Ryan will be reviewing some reviews if he recovers. He's sick, so we hope that he heals up. And as for me, look at this. I have to say I'm super excited about the games I'm reviewing this week. Here's the first game in the Tempest series from AEG, Courtier. And then we have Pass and Pens and the very big name game, Zombicide. We have Escape from Queen Games as well as its first expansion, Illusions. We have the game Fame Us. We also have this small game, Double Champion, Spice Merchants, both those games from Korea. Then from Blue Orange Games, Shrimp Cocktail, Richard Borg's Cowtown, that's from Griffin Games. And then, okay, I'm just telling you guys right now, this game is awesome. This is one of the best games of the year. And then, another one of the best games of the year, Space Cadets. Lots of fun, lots of great things coming from reviews this week. And one more thing before we go. Let's take a look at our component of the week. Our show is called the Dice Tower because I think dice towers are cool. They are things that you drop dice in that randomize them. Today we're going to look at a product from Unique Dice Towers. This is a great product. They're just really fancy dice towers. I'm very impressed with them. They come like this, folded up, and then they're two pieces, and you place one in the other. Now let's look at these pieces. Now they're thinner than most dice towers, but they have some plexiglass here that you can see it, and you can see the logo. Look at that. See that? That's the dice tower, man. That's really neat. And then they come out here at the bottom, and on the back, I mean, we're talking really good quality wood. So of course, let's test this sucker out here. It looks like you can put a pair of dice in there pretty easily. They drop in and they've randomized really well. I dropped them in hundreds of times. I like to test dice towers out. I don't know how many dice is the maximum, but you can see I can put quite a few in there. I just don't have to throw them all in at one time. So they work really well, and when you're done, the whole thing just folds up and moves around easily. Here's another one. This one here has a dragon, and the wood, now obviously the smell can't get through the video here, but it smells so delicious, this one. But anyhow, it has a dice tower design, and this one also fits in nicely. And look at that, it says Vasel on the front. The other one, if I didn't show it, says the dice tower. So these are some custom ones I got here, and they're pretty neat dice towers. They're small, they're portable, and they really are sturdy as they're banging around. So I thought that was a pretty neat thing. You can find these and order your own at uniquedicetowers.com. And that's it, folks. I hope you have a great, great week. Christmas is so close. Lots of fun. Take a listen to our stuff. You can find all our podcasts at dicetowernetwork.com. You can listen to Remy Gibson's show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where he talks about the news. And of course, you can find out all the gaming news at dicetowernews.com or gamesalutenews.com. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel saying Merry Christmas.
Find all this and more at dicetower.com. See you soon.
Shut the door, Tom.